Hello and welcome to another Hallu Sees It review. Today I am looking at What the Food, and it is actually my favorite party type game, group game of 2014. Very much enjoyed this game. It is it's designed by Peter Vaughan, and it's for 3 to 8 players again, so I kind of consider this it's more of a party type game. I apologize, I can't get this to focus on that. It's for 8 and up. It's really a really simple game, 30-45 minutes, and really honestly it can take a lot less time than that too. 15-20 minutes as well. So it's a pretty quick game. Really fun party game. It's funny. It's the design of it, the mechanics and everything I think are really well done. Very much enjoy it. Quality of the components and everything. If you open up the box, this is what you see here. You got this little insert in here. You got a bunch of little humiliation tokens. They're just these little plastic chips. You got 2 things for the cards there. You can get sort of little expansion decks or promos that go along with this. Really cool as well is this kind of it's almost like an eraser type feel, but this little burger starting player token. Very cool. You can actually pull this, pull it apart. But it is very high quality, very cool. Helps with the theme quite a bit, I think. It's just a really nice touch. Looking at the box here, they got pictures on the side throughout there. Trying to find a logo here without spilling out all these things. But Squirmy Beast, you see in the bottom left-hand corner there. Apologize, that logo we just got. Oh, here we go. It's on the side of this. It'll be a little bit easier. So anyway, Squirmy Beast, and I really look forward to. It sounds like they got another game coming up here in 2015. Definitely gonna want to check that one out because I've just been really impressed with this game. So you open that up, you have the cool token there. Let's go ahead and you have a bunch of cards here. Rulebook. I want to kind of open this up and show you. Just kind of sticking with the theme here. The idea here with this What the Food game is kind of like a high school food fight. And so you're going to be throwing all sorts of different funny combinations of food items at other players, trying to humiliate them as much as possible and trying to avoid any humiliation yourself. But the rule book here, just very colorful, very well laid out. Discussion, it has good pictures here. It goes through describing the icons. I really love the layout of this book, and it's so simple. The game is so simple. This is really what you need to know how to play the game, and it is very cool. Anyway, got some more rule book here explaining the different combinations of food items that you can throw at people. Ending the game, how the game ends, and then there's all sorts of actions, lots of special actions that add so much variety to the game, and it goes into a little bit more detail on those. Back here, it said 3 to 8. There is 2-player rules. Basically, you can play the game as 2 players. There's just going to be some cards and actions that really aren't going to be utilized either at all or can only work partially. There's some different variant suggestions, some advanced rules that you can do, and things like that to change the game up as well. And it got the credits there. So very good rule book. There's so much I love about this game. So let's go ahead and take a look. So basically the idea is here, we have the middle of the game set up. This is the floor, if you will. And we have the deck here of the cards, and we have the trash over here. Some cards will, you could utilize the trash, and once you throw food, it basically goes to the trash. Okay? Sorry, just. Okay, so yeah, so the idea is you're going to be grabbing the food from the floor and throwing it at other people is basically it. And I just want to start out by showing you kind of the different combinations. So there's different food cards that are made up in here, different toppings, and conditions of the food. And in the game, you can throw, a single food, you can throw, single toppings as well at people. But what's really good is that once you combine and make a little combo. So if I only had these two, I could throw a baby bean burrito globbed in peanut butter. But what would be really, really cool is if I had a condition and I threw a rotten baby bean burrito globbed in peanut butter. 4 points of humiliation to the other player. And since I did a 3-card combo here, I am actually going to be able to remove 2 humiliation tokens from me. So really, really cool combinations that you can get. The deck's comprised of these 3 different food type cards, but there's also different action cards that you can pick up and add to your deck as well. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but that's only because I just get really excited with this game. At the very beginning, what you're going to want to do is each of the players is going to choose a character and the special action card that goes along with that. So each player begins the game with 3 basic action cards. Everyone will start with a throw action, a duck action, and a grab action. Okay, and these cards are going to be played, and we'll describe how that's done. But really, really basic. Grab, you can take any one card from the floor, or take any food cards from the floor. The duck action would allow you to avoid any thrown food at you during that turn. Throw is you're going to attack. You're going to be able to attack and throw some of your food cards at the other players. Okay, so everyone's going to start with those 3, and then the idea is you have different personalities here and special actions. So here we have the shark. He has a special action of hunt. So you'd place this character in front of you, and you would be able to add this hunt action to the other basic actions that you get to start the game. So this one's a little more specific, make a little more sense as we get into the game a little bit more, but the +2 is, that's the humiliation icon there. So +2 a humiliation attack unless the target gives you one of their food type cards, either a food, a topping, or a condition. Okay, and then there's another specific thing here. You may change target to anyone with more humiliation. So that's also something that goes along with that action. Okay, Mean Jean has a special action of mock. So she can mock you, and here's her action card. You can attack without food, and the other person gets 1 humiliation. Boom. Mocking, humiliation. You notice the layout of the cards just is really, really cool. You got little doodles and stuff on the little paper there. Just kind of a really nice touch there. If hit with food before acting, mock fails. Okay, so the turn order here it becomes important. Obviously, if she just got hit with food, she may not feel like she can mock someone at that very moment. Brainy Janie, okay, her special action is outsmart. Okay, so we'll take a look at that. Equals MC squared. Okay, any attack against you, change to your target, except deflections. So pretty powerful, pretty awesome little action there. Anyway, so you can see they're all themed according to, you got a little mascot here, you got Susie Floozy has the special action of Flirt, which allows you to take one random from the card from the target, and you may change your target's target. So that becomes very handy if someone's attacking you and you're their target. Okay, you have Smug Dug with the pitch action. So again, I got the jock here. Attack with any one food or topping from the floor. Hits ducking target, so I mean that's kind of a good one there. Tricky Ricky, you got this kind of prankster here. Spinny Ginny, a little cheerleader. There's Dr. Floyd, Transmogrify. So anyway, there's so much. So I'm gonna flip through these just real quick. Wayne Payne, you got this bully type character. You have Hippie Pippy, where you are able to utilize things from the trash. You have Obese Denise, which eating action. You're able to get rid of some food items, or basically eat them. But you're able to get rid of humiliation that way. Clark the Narc, I played with him recently with a snitch action, which is pretty cool, of getting +1 humiliation to players showing grab or any attack with food action. So you snitch on them and get a lot of people all at once. Boasting action. Sick Vic with the sneeze action. Pretty awesome. You'll see just the artwork's really fun. The symbology and stuff, there's some symbology, but very simple. I mean, there's words that go with it, and it's really easy to catch on, so not an issue at all with symbology or anything like that. So once you have a character, say I'm the shark here, I have my actions. I'm going to have like an action deck, basically, of actions that I'm going to be able to perform. So will the other players. The other things that you'll find in the game is you have different colored target cards. It doesn't really matter what color they are. I can't remember if this is a Kickstarter thing or not, to have different colors, but basically, whatever, everyone picks up a target card, but there's mustard, mayo, different things like that. So everyone would have one of those, and then you start with a certain number of cards drawn from the deck. There's a few blank cards in here that you can make your own action, your own events. And that is the other thing in here when you're dealing these out. You'll remove any event cards and then shuffle them in later before you play. But there are event cards that when they come up, nice old lunch lady in clockwise order, players receive +1 from the trash. So events, there's different events that can either hurt you, help you, different things like that can come up. Very well themed throughout the game. They just work really well. But basically the idea is the starting player will then, from the starting player, they will at first go ahead and figure out who they're going to target for that upcoming phase, if you will, or turn, which is going to consist of 3 actions. So I pick the person across from me, and we go around, everyone chooses their target card, and then it comes back to me, and everyone's basically doing this at the same time. But from your 4 actions, you'll have the basic and your special. You're going to choose 3 of these actions, and maybe I don't have very much food, or I don't want to throw anything yet, so I'm going to duck, grab, and hunt. And then I order these such that when I play them face down, the top one will be my very first action. And so, starting with the first player, everyone will flip one over, and then we resolve it in order from starting player going clockwise. So my grab action, I'm just able to take 1 card from the floor, or 2 food items. So I could take this baby burrito and eggs Benedict for future throwing. Or maybe I want to take this action card and have this as a future action These action cards are yours to keep, and then you can utilize in future rounds if you so choose. It cannot be targeted at all, which is great. And you get +2 from the deck, but you also gain 1 humiliation that round. So different things like that. Grab, and then duck. So basically what would happen is if for the second phase everyone flips over their second action, and if anyone's throwing food at me for that round, I would be able to avoid that food and that humiliation. So that's pretty good. But sometimes you also duck and everyone else is grabbing food, or maybe they're attacking me with the mock action, and so that doesn't really do anything that round. And then I'd pull out my hunt action, and my target now has a choice to make. They can either take the +2 humiliation, or they can give me a card, which is nice. Or I would be able to also change my target to anyone with more humiliation. So that's how it's played. Everyone plays those 3 actions, and then you basically put all your action cards back together in the action deck. There's no hand limit for the number of food or different things like that. You just gain things, and there's the different combinations. Again, in the rule book it explains it, but it's fairly simple and basic to get a hold of. You can throw 1 food, you can throw a topping, or you can throw food in a topping. You can actually have a topping with a topping, or you can have a condition card with a food or a topping, and then you have the 2 different ways for a full 3-card combo. And so you just read through a bunch of these, and they're just very, very funny, humorous things going on. You're throwing pickled large trout smothered in turkey gravy and things like that. So it's such a fun little party game. I really, really enjoy it. The mechanics are great. The trying to evaluate, okay, who am I going to target this round? Kind of a bluffing thing as well on some of these actions of, okay, when are they going to attack when, and things like that. But good quality cards. These little humiliation tokens, I mean, they're just real simple little plastic things, but that's all you really, really need to keep track of the game tokens anyway. But tons and tons of replay value. Variations with all of these different characters, again with promos and expansions with this as well. I really, really highly recommend this game. What the Food and Squirmy Beast Games. I'm very excited to see what else they come out with, because I was very, very impressed with this. Again, best party game of 2014 for me. One that I think it will come out almost every single time I have a game night with 4 or 5. I mean, with more than a lot of games for 4 players. But if I have a bigger group, this will pretty much come out every single time as a possibility to play. Really, really enjoy it. Go ahead and check it out. What the Food.